So the use of montage editing is good here, but also because it's only the start of the song, using a speed ramping tool in Final Cut Pro X enabled us to blend shots together, and with the use of grayscale as well, it does create an image of that it was a past event in the artist's life, and this is like a breakup of a relationship seen by the arguing. There's good continuity of the use of costume here, so I think here and then in that first bass track shown, as well as the performance and the narrative, he's wearing all the same things, and that makes a recognizable brand image. We sat and made a list of all the things that we had down the backs of tables, so the editing is really good, I think, and the cutting between the bass tracks, in the sense that between the performance and the narrative, it's quite evenly spread out throughout the whole video. The color grading is really good, actually. Here we used projector to create the shot over the artist, and then in Final Cut we used the color grading tool with the panel of colors on the side to adjust the contrast of brightness and contrast with the use of reds, yellows and oranges to create the right effect. Oh, they told me nothing new, but I love to read the words. Good point of view shot. These are the things we lost, the things we lost in the fire, fire, fire. These are the things. It's good montage editing here, and as a convention in normal music videos, it's shown that there's fast-paced editing, cutting between bass tracks, the performance and the narrative, which is good, especially in the chorus. That's when there's most amount of cutting, I think, which we try to achieve. Editing was good there. It's good how between the two shots it rolled across as one. Maybe we started this fire. We started a part and war. Oh, we had fun on the fire. I think the editing was really good there. It was cutting to the beat, and also it started to build up tension. We were born with nothing, and sure as I have nothing now. We were born with nothing. I think when it approaches the second half of the song, it starts to build up more with the use of all the fire bass tracks and the narrative. So yeah, I think even with the bass tracks to do with the fire, although the shirt has changed, the use of the shirt itself and the braces and the skinny jeans, it creates a brand image, and it shows. When we were looking at different artists during our research and planning, we looked at idols such as Olly Murs as inspiration, and we developed this convention in pop, and this is what we ended up using. Never be the same again. You are this time not waiting. Never be you can tell that the editing is a lot more fast-paced here because it's become the second half of the song, and this creates tension. Use of body language is good, and hand gestures. So the editing is changed from, instead of cutting every 8 beats in the cycle, to every 4 beats, which makes it a lot quicker. Also, as we used a normal color for the fire, this had a good glow here, as the light projected on the artist was purely just through the fire. With the use of natural lighting, that looked really good, and the way we distinguished between the narrative and the performance, and then all the shots with the fire, we changed all the narrative and performance without the use of fire in the shots to grayscale. This distinguished a gap, and you can tell that the fire in color is recognized as the USP, or unique selling point, of the artist. And then the editing starts to slow down here because it comes to the end of the song. So I think when we were editing the ancillaries, we used Photoshop to edit the pictures, and we used a photography room, a dark room in our school, to take the extreme close-ups, mid-shots, and close-ups. So we used different types of lighting. Also, once the picture was taken, because we wanted to make a high and low contrast difference, so once we put the picture into Photoshop, although we used a black background, we wanted to make it completely dark around the fire. So by doing that, we adjusted the brightness and the contrast, and then also we used the blur tool once the fire was imported as a separate picture to blur it in, to make the hand and the fire seem like one object. I think as well, in the editing of the application of text on the bottom 2 panels and the CD, we wanted to make it as clear as possible. In the front cover especially, we wanted to focus on the artist itself, so the central image would be the artist, and all the text around that would be any other information, such as on the back cover, where all the song list would be. The image, the extreme close-up of the artist, was most in focus, and then the black background enabled us to apply the text on the side. And just reverting back to the front cover again, the use of Bastille and Bad Blood, the artist's name, and the album, which is quite important. This was also centralized, which is in line with the artist, and the use of clear text made it easy to read by the consumers. And so the editing again, we took a similar picture from the front cover to the magazine advert as well. So the application of text, as you can see again, this was placed around the edges of the picture. So we tampered with the brightness and the contrast levels to create a black background. What was quite hard was during the photo shoot that we took for this, because we knew we wanted to incorporate the fire element, which was the unique selling point into our product. We needed to make sure the lighting was on the artist's face, however not on the arms, because the fire was coming above the arms, but it was going on his face. And then after that, we looked at the picture needed to be centralized, and also with the other techniques used, such as the blur and the smudge tool. Once the fire picture was imported, and we needed to blur this into the picture, which made it as realistic as possible, because for safety reasons we couldn't actually put fire in the artist's hands. I think with the use of social media websites on the side and tour dates, it makes it very clear that the artist would be a predominant pop artist in the industry.
Yeah, I only expect